Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. A Ukrainian woman was pulled alive from rubble after Russian missiles hit an apartment complex in the Donetsk region. Police officials also rescued a man from the rubble. The rescue operation lasted several hours. The Kremlin has responded to Australia's decision to cancel Russia's lease for a new embassy in Canberra. The Kremlin has called the move hostile and Russophobic. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that his government would ensure that the leased site was not used by Russia. Australia is one of the largest non-NATO supporters of Ukraine amid the ongoing war. The Russian army is looking to recruit both crime suspects and convicted criminals to go fight in Ukraine. Russia's lower house of parliament has passed legislation that allows the defense ministry to sign contracts with criminals. If the bill is enacted, criminals who join the army will be exempted from their prison liabilities. Several Ukrainian ports used to transport grain on the Kakhovka reservoir have become inoperable. Water levels have dropped by over 5 meters after the Kakhovka Dam breach. This has made it difficult for ships to cross the reservoir. Ukraine is now looking to transport its grain via railway. 3 police officers from Kosovo were arrested by Serbian forces on Wednesday. This comes in retaliation for the arrest of a local Serb in Kosovo's northern region. However, Kosovo and Serbia gave different locations for the arrest of the police officers. They accused each other's forces of crossing the border illegally. The UK's former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been accused of deliberately misleading Parliament. This is according to reports from an investigative committee. The 100-page report says that Johnson lied to Parliament about hosting parties at 10 Downing Street during the COVID lockdown. Johnson has called the reports rubbish. Chinese Premier Li Qiang will visit Germany and France from the 18th of June to the 23rd of June. He'll hold the 7th round of intergovernmental talks between China and Germany. He'll also attend the new Global Financing Pact summit in France on the 22nd of June. This will be Li Qiang's first overseas trip since becoming China's premier in March. Thousands of people marched on the streets of Poland's capital, Warsaw. The protests erupted after the death of a pregnant woman who was denied an abortion. Women demonstrated against the country's strict anti-abortion laws. In 2021, Poland banned the termination of pregnancies with fetal defects. The country has some of the most restrictive abortion laws in Europe. Israel's parliament has delivered a major blow to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's coalition. They've elected an opposition member to sit on a committee that appoints judges. The judge selection panel has been at the heart of Netanyahu's political battle. A judicial overhaul has been proposed, which will allow Netanyahu's ruling coalition to control and appoint judges. This would weaken Israel's judiciary's autonomy. Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi has arrived in the Caribbean island nation of Cuba. This is the 3rd and final stop in his 3-nation Latin America tour. Raisi will meet Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel at the Palace of the Revolution in Havana. He'll also attend a business forum. Ahead of this, Raisi had visited Nicaragua and Venezuela. A court in the Central American nation of Guatemala has sentenced a famous journalist to 6 years in jail over money laundering. Jose Zamora also faces a fine of over $38,000. Zamora says that he would possibly take the case to the Inter-American Court of Human Rights. He described the case against him as political persecution by Guatemala's president for reporting on alleged corruption involving him. Violent clashes continue in the Indian state of Manipur. At least 9 people have been killed in the latest clashes that involve 2 ethnic groups. This is being seen as the bloodiest day in Manipur since tensions erupted on May 3rd. Reports suggest that heavily armed militants led the latest attack. At least 79 people drowned after an overloaded boat capsized off the coast of Greece. Hundreds are still missing. Some people were rescued by helicopters. Rescue officials estimate that over 750 migrants were on the boat. This is one of Europe's deadliest migrant boat crossing disasters in recent years. Teachers in the Latin American country of Chile held a 24-hour strike on Wednesday. This was in the capital city, Santiago. The teachers demanded better pay and working conditions. They also asked the government to combat rising violence in classrooms. The Chilean teachers have announced a nationwide strike this Friday. Cyclone Biparjoy is set to make landfall today. The landfall is expected in the Indian state of Gujarat. The impact is likely to be seen along the Run of Kutch and to Rajasthan. Authorities have evacuated over 75,000 people from Gujarat's at-risk communities. The Indian Navy are also on standby. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has warned of more frequent extreme weather events. His statement comes as the country seeks to boost its readiness to tackle wildfires. Canada is witnessing its most destructive wildfire season on record. About 48,000 square kilometers are already burnt. This area is larger than the whole of the Netherlands. US President Joe Biden has said that the world poses many threats, but climate change is the only true existential threat. He added that a dire climate outcome is not inevitable. Biden made the statements during a dinner with some of the leading environmental groups in the US. The wettest part of England is almost completely dry. The River Derwent in Borrowdale in the Lake District has run dry for the 3rd consecutive year. Experts have warned that this will lead to disastrous conditions for wildlife. They also say that this year's dry spell is earlier and longer than expected. The president of Turkmenistan has launched 2 initiatives. They aim to cut massive methane leaks from the country's oil and gas industry. This plan would help Turkmenistan better tackle the global climate crisis. It'll pave the way for the country to join the Global Methane Pledge. The Global Methane Pledge has already been signed by about 150 countries. It aims to cut global methane emissions by 30% by 2030. Methane emissions presently cause about 25% of global warming. British oil giant Shell has abandoned its plan to cut oil production each year for the rest of the decade. When Ben van Beurden was the company's chief executive, he introduced a plan of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. This would be done with gradual reductions in fossil fuel output. However, the new chief executive has said that while he wants to lower emissions, he believes that oil and gas will be required for a long time. Now on to business. Australia's New South Wales state has imposed a 3-month ban on PricewaterhouseCoopers' local unit. The local office of the firm will not receive any new tax-related contracts in the state. This is the latest repercussion for the scandal-hit organization. PwC Australia has come under fire for leaking confidential government tax documents to proliferate its business. Hong Kong's banking regulator is pressuring banks, including HSBC and Standard Chartered. It's asking them to take on crypto exchanges as clients. Reports say that the lenders are reluctant to take crypto exchanges as customers, owing to the high risks of illegal activities in the industry. China's move comes at a time when other countries are strengthening their oversight of the crypto sector. The United States Federal Reserve has left interest rates unchanged in its June meeting. The policy rate now lies in the range of 5 to 5.25%. However, policymakers expect to see 2 more 25 basis point hikes by the end of this year. New Zealand has officially entered a recession in the first quarter of this financial year. The region's gross domestic product contracted by 0.1%. This was in line with analysts' estimates. Further, the fourth quarter GDP is now expected to contract by 0.7%. This is a revision from an earlier estimate of a 0.6% decline. Bill Gates has tweeted that he has landed in Beijing. This is his first visit to China since 2019. He's there to meet with partners of his philanthropic venture, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Reports say he'll also meet China's President Xi Jinping during the visit. If that happens, it'll mark Xi's first meeting with a foreign private entrepreneur in recent years. According to reports, financial giant Goldman Sachs is cutting more than 30 banking jobs in Asia. Most of these will be in the Global Banking and Markets division. These are a part of Goldman's elimination plans that was reported last month. This round will see about 250 employees being laid off. French aerospace engine maker Safran will sign a deal to acquire a unit of Raytheon Technologies. Raytheon is an American aerospace and defense conglomerate. Safran will buy its unit that makes light controls for aircraft, helicopters, and missiles. The deal could be valued at about $1.8 billion. A court has issued an eviction order for a Twitter office based in the American state of Colorado. This is because the company has not paid its rent since March. There have been several reports of unpaid bills against the company ever since Elon Musk took over. A group of 17 music publishers have sued Twitter in the US. It includes Sony Music Publishing and Universal Music Publishing Group. They are accusing the social media company of enabling copyright violations. This is by allowing users to post music without a license. The group is seeking more than $250 million in damages for the alleged infringement. There's a small chance that Google may have to sell its lucrative advertising technology business. This is to address concerns about alleged anti-competitive practices. The development comes after the European Union threatened the company with its harshest regulatory penalty. This could include a fine of as much as 10% of Google's annual global turnover. Moving to sports. In cricket, England and Australia are gearing up for the 5-match Ashes series. The first test match will be played at the Edgbaston in Birmingham on Friday. England's Moeen Ali will make a comeback to the test format after having retired in 2021. Hosts England will have a 4-man seam attack. This will include captain Ben Stokes, veteran James Anderson, Stuart Broad and Ollie Robinson. In football, Italy will play against Spain at the UEFA Nations League semi-final. The two football giants will clash at the FC Twente Stadium in the Netherlands. Previously, in 2021, the two teams played against each other in the Nations League semi-final as well. Spain won that match 2-1. Meanwhile, Croatia beat the Netherlands 4-2 to enter the Nations League final. The Netherlands started off strong with a goal in the 34th minute. Visitors Croatia scored twice in the 54th and the 72nd minutes. Then the Dutch team scored a 90th minute equalizer. However, Croatia pulled off 2 thrilling goals in injury time to seal the win. They will now play either Spain or Italy. Egypt beat Guinea 2-1 on Wednesday. Mohamed Salah scored the winning goal for Egypt in the 80th minute. Egypt is now the 8th country to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. The tournament will see participation from 24 African countries. The Africa Cup will be hosted in the Ivory Coast next year. The rift between striker Kylian Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain continues to grow. This comes after the Frenchman slammed PSG for the way they treated Argentine legend Lionel Messi. Mbappe has declined to renew his contract with the club after it terminates in 2024. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron has stepped in. Macron requested Mbappe to stay at PSG. In tennis, Wimbledon's prize money has been raised to a record $56 million. This is a jump of 11.2% from last year. The runners-up will also see a boost in their awards. The money awarded for qualifying for Wimbledon has also been increased by 14.5%. This means that even players who lose the first round are guaranteed about $70,000. In badminton, India's Shrikant Kidambi advanced to the quarterfinal at the Indonesia Open. He beat his Indian counterpart Lakshya Sen in a hard-fought battle. The game lasted close to an hour as Kidambi won 21-17, 22-20. He'll now face China's Li Qiang on Friday. Meanwhile, India's HS Pranoy also advanced to the Indonesia Open quarterfinals. 7th seed Pranoy beat Hong Kong's Angus Long 21-18, 21-16. The match lasted just 40 minutes. Pranoy will play his next round on Friday as well. In archery, the Indian women's compound team won a bronze at the ongoing World Cup. The third stage of the World Cup is being held in the Latin American country of Colombia. Aditi Swami, Jyoti Venom and Parneet Kaur beat their Mexican counterparts to clinch the bronze. Yesterday, Swami also smashed the under-18 world record with her superb bullseye skills. Meanwhile, the Indian men's compound team also won a bronze at the Archery World Cup. Abhishek Verma, Ojas Deotale and P. Joker beat their Colombian opponents to finish third. The final score was 236-228 in India's favour. Kevin Spacey, the Hollywood actor accused of sexual assault, has said he already has producers waiting to sign him in their upcoming projects. Spacey claimed that producers will begin reaching out to him as soon as he's acquitted in an imminent trial. He's currently facing trial in the UK over sexual assault charges. He'll appear at the Westminster Magistrates Court in London on June 16th. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's elder daughter, Northwest, is all set to make her acting debut. She'll debut with Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie. The 10-year-old will be playing the role of a Pomeranian named Minnie. The film is a sequel to 2021's Paw Patrol the movie. It's set to release on September 29th this year. Johnny Depp reflected on his turbulent last few years in a newly released video from the Cannes Film Festival. Depp's movie Jean du Barry opened the May Festival this year and was welcomed by fans. Depp was asked by reporters how it felt to be back at the festival promoting a film. He said a friend texted him that it was his comeback film or something. Disney has announced a release date for the 7th installment of the long-running Alien franchise. It'll release in August 2024. The latest edition of the franchise will be released through 20th Century Studios. Fede Alvarez has been roped in to write, direct and produce the new film. Alvarez is known for directing horror films like Don't Breathe and the 2013 revival of Evil Dead. It truly is the end of the fight for Gotham's latest heroes. The US network CW has officially cancelled Gotham Knights after just one season. Its showrunners took to social media and broke the sad news to their fans on Wednesday. The studio was unable to find another home for Gotham Knights despite repeated efforts. Sherry Season 2 will kick off on September 18th. The series is a product of Lionsgate's Lionsgate's Debmar Mercury. It's also the #1 nationally syndicated daytime talker from the production house. Sherry Season 1 was awarded the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Talk Series. It also received 4 Daytime Emmy nominations. Convicted rapper Tory Lanez's unreleased track titled Hurts Me has gone viral on the video sharing app TikTok. The Canadian rapper was found guilty of shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion in her foot after a party in Hollywood in 2020. He's set to be sentenced on August 7th. Iconic rapper Snoop Dogg has unveiled his NFT collection called Snoop Dogg Passport Series. The Passport Series provides access to digital merchandise and various content. This includes behind-the-scenes videos and photos uploaded by Snoop Dogg while on tour. Snoop Dogg says he believes that digital merchandise is part of the future. Cartoon Network is facing heavy criticism after one of its animated shows for toddlers featured new non-binary characters. We Baby Bears aired an episode during Pride Month featuring they/them pronouns and non-binary characters. Some people are now attacking Cartoon Network on social media and demanding that the episode be taken down immediately. Two-time Academy Award-winning performer and British lawmaker Glenda Jackson has died, aged 87. Jackson's agent said she died on Thursday at her home in London after a short illness. She won 2 Academy Awards for Women in Love and A Touch of Class. Jackson then went into politics, was elected to Parliament, and spent 23 years as a Labour Party lawmaker. That's all for this edition of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.